Hi everyone, for today's video I would like to talk about starting your above ground pool or what to do after you assembled and filled up your pool with fresh water. I just want to let you know that I am not a pool technician and what I will be sharing with you is based on my own experience with my Bestway Power Steel 14 feet by 8.2 feet by 39.5 inches above ground pool. When I decided to purchase this pool during COVID restrictions, I did a lot of research on how to maintain a pool because I'm afraid that I might mess things up and end up with green or cloudy water. The more video I watch, the more confused I become. Some people blame their misfortune on the pump that came with the pool for having cloudy or green water. They say that the pump is too small for the pool, and some talks about pool chemistry and all the different chemicals that you need to buy in order to maintain your pool. Some say that you need to invest in a $200 Taylor test kit because that's the only accurate test kit that you can rely on. Well, after owning the pool for a couple of months, I realized that the four most important thing you need is number one, a pool calculator app. You can get a lot of free apps that will tell you exactly what and how much chemical you need to add in your water. I use multiple pool calculator app, but I like the Pool Math by Trouble Free Pool the most. Number two, a water test kit. A test strip or a liquid agent is fine. Number three, you want to get a chlorine, also called a sanitizer, and that will be in liquid form or tablet form. Number four is a CYA, also called as water conditioner. You can also get that in liquid form or dry powder. In addition to the four that I mentioned, you also need to know the amount of water you have in your pool. For above ground pool, like this, the owner's manual should tell you how much water the pool holds. So for this particular pool that I have, this is about 1,900 something gallon of water. So I just set it up to 2,000 gallons every time I add chemicals to it. If you will simply use the outdoor faucet to fill and refill your pool, you can test your water in advance to help you decide on what other chemical you'll need. Here's the number that you should look for. For chlorine, also known as available chlorine, you should have between 1 and 4 ppm. For the pH, you want to have somewhere between 7.2 and 7.8. For alkalinity, you want your pool to have between 60 and 120 parts per million. And for stabilizer, the HTH test kit that I'm using is recommending between 20 and 50 ppm. But if you look online, a lot of people are saying that you want it to have between 30 and 80 ppm. Since you just added fresh water, you will most likely have zero chlorine reading. So a range between 1 to 4 is ideal. You can go higher than 4, but know that anything higher than 4 may cause dry skin, dry hair, and red eyes, depending on your sensitivity level. But you should still be able to swim in it. I'm sure you will know when the level is unsafe because it will cause blurry vision, difficulty breathing, burning sensation in eyes and throat, and vomiting. So basically, you're not going to be comfortable in the water when the chlorine is too high. My test kit goes up to 5 ppm, and when I add a new tablet in my Camp Connect, it would always go over 5 ppm on the first day or two. But we still go into the water and enjoy it. However, I do notice that after we enjoy the pool, when we rinse, I will notice having dry hair and skin. So I'll just put more lotion and put more conditioner to clean my hair. Now, if the pool water is a little low and I have a high chlorine, I will simply add some water to lower it. Now, about the CYA or the water conditioner. A CYA or water conditioner serves as a sunscreen to your water. So without CYA or very little CYA, you'll notice that you are not able to keep the chlorine in your water because the sun burns it quickly. So on the other hand, too much CYA will also cause your chlorine to lose its effectiveness. So you think you have a lot of chlorine there, but it's not really doing anything. CYA does not evaporate, so the only way to reduce CYA is by doing a drain and refill. Also, if you use a chlorine tablet, it contains about 50% CYA. So to start your pool, you just want to add enough CYA just to be at the minimum. So for me, I just add enough CYA to reach about 30 ppm because I know that the chlorine tablet will also add CYA into the water. For the pH level, number between 7.2 and 7.8 will give you the most comfort and clear water. When a pH is too low, it will be too acidic and will cause red eye and will also cause your vinyl to become brittle, so it will be more prone to crack and tear. When a pH level goes too high, it will cause your water to turn cloudy and it will make it harder for chlorine to do its job. A high pH can also cause some itchy skins or rashes. The alkalinity serves as the buffer to your pH. If you have high alkalinity, it tends to pull the pH higher, and if you have a low alkalinity, it will pull your pH lower. Of course, this is without considering environmental factors such as rain or trees. So if you have a lot of rains or trees around your pool, it might cause the pH to go down as well. To lower the alkalinity, you need to first increase your pH to 7.8 or above by aerating your water, and then you want to add muriatic acid or dry acid to your water to lower the pH down to 7.2. When you do this, your alkalinity will go down from between 20 and 50 ppm. So you may need to do this multiple times to get the correct alkalinity level. When I say aerating, this is simply creating a fountain effect on the water. I did this by putting in a tube in the camp connect to let the water shoot up. Also, when you let your kids play in the pool, all the splashes they do will also do the same effect to the water. So it will also increase the pH of your water. To increase alkalinity, you will need to add baking soda to your water. This will also increase the pH, but not as much. Okay, so now let's talk about my setup. In my particular setup, my city water have a pH of 8.1 and alkalinity of 220 ppm. During my first 4 to 8 weeks of owning this pool, I struggled to keep my water clear because the pH just kept on rising every time we use the pool or after I refill the pool with more water. I also noticed that once the alkalinity level hits 7.8 and up, the water will turn cloudy. And when I bring the pH down, the water will turn clear again. So I was wondering why my alkalinity never really goes down until I realized that alkalinity just goes back up after I refill the pool with fresh water. And when I bring the pH level down from 8 to 7.2, I would only lower the alkalinity to about 30 ppm. So I also found that once I was able to bring the alkalinity below 120, the pH level begins to stabilize. And even if I top up the water in my pool, the pH and alkalinity seems to keep its level, or the number goes up very little. So in my second year, I set up the water high and added the proper amount of chlorine and CYA. And then I focused on lowering the alkalinity first. So I never add water until the alkalinity is less than 100. It took about 4 times of lowering the pH from 8 to 7.2, then aerating the water again, and then lowering it down again to 7.2. So I did that cycle for a little over a week, but we continued to use the pool during that time, so the water is like 4 inches lower than specified line before I was able to refill it again because of all the water that we splash out and as well as evaporation. But then, after I refill it back up, the alkalinity and the pH never goes back higher than the recommended range. So the pH goes up to about 7.8 and I will just bring it back down to 7.4 so that it doesn't affect the alkalinity much. And I just continue that cycle every time I refill, which is about once every 10 days until the season is over. So how long should you wait before adding each chemical? Well, You can add the chemicals within minutes of each other, but you need to give it time to fully mix into the water before you take your measurement reading. So this is a small pool, so what I do is I actually help mix all the chemicals by using a bucket, and also make sure that you have your filter running and the cartridge is clean so that you have a fast exchange of water when you're exchanging the chemicals. I would say that when I help the water mix using a bucket and running the filter at the same time, I would take my next measurement after 4 hours. By that time, it should give you a good number already. But if you just add the chemical and just let the filter circulate the water, you want to give it at least 24 hours. Especially if you're adjusting the pH, because the pH level tend to change slowly. So you want to give that time. But if you're adding chlorine or CYA or measuring alkalinity, then in 4 hours you should be able to check your reading again. I hope that this video helped you. And if you have any question, please comment down below. And please make sure to click the like and the subscribe button to help my channel. Thank you for watching.